I remember a few years ago when I was a baby Tenno coming across the Warframe anniversary event, and it had such a huge impact on me. In the sense that while I didn't understand what exactly was going on, I did understand, hey, I'm getting free stuff. And free stuff I got. The weapons, the cosmetics had such a huge impact on me because they looked better, they were more fun, and they were more powerful than anything else I had at the time. So today, my friends, it's time to revisit one of these weapons, the Dex Sybaris. As always, my name is Leyzar, and I got a cheap build lineup, something that a newer player can get into, but rest assured we also got a Endgame setup with prime mods, galvanized mods, a riven, essentially the works. That said though, please bear in mind that my builds and guides usually take a more new player friendly tone, simply because I want anybody watching to understand how the weapon functions and how it should be built. So in case you're a vet and you already know most of this stuff, you can either skip ahead or have a bit of patience. And with that out of the way, let's jump into the Dex Sybaris. Let's begin by checking out how the weapon handles without any mods equipped, and for that we're gonna do just a couple of our regular free shots. The Dex Sybaris is a semi-automatic hit-scan rifle with some pretty good accuracy. Now in the magazine you will be having 14 bullets, but you consume 2 per shot, and this is the standard 50-meter test. You will see that essentially all the bullets land within the crosshairs and the recoil is barely there. It does have a little bit of a jiggle, but who doesn't like a little bit of a jiggle? And that's pretty much it. Keep in mind that you're consuming 2 ammo per shot, which means effectively you are getting 7 shots until you need to reload. And the reload, well, pretty quick, decently quick, I want to say. Now let's open the stats to see exactly what we're dealing with. Mod capacity 60 out of 60, and if your comes with only 30 out of 30, that means something went terribly wrong, simply because this weapon is meant to always have 60 out of 60. It's a anniversary weapon. As soon as you complete the mission, you're going to be getting yourself the Dex Sybaris with a orokin catalyst already installed, plus the weapon slot it actually needs. So if you're a veteran and you already have the weapon, at least you get the slot. On a side note, it would be good, dear developer, if you offer the catalyst separate to the weapon, just in case we already have it from previous years. We can use the catalyst on, something else if we so desire. Now, I'll tell you what though, it may come with an orokin catalyst and a weapon slot, but it doesn't come already format, and I have into this one 6 little stars, which means I already plugged in 6 format. Now for the weapon build I'm recommending you don't need 6 format, but you will have to format at least 3 times. Go for V symbols, this thing, or Madurai. You should unlock the weapon empty arcane slot over here and go with primary merciless, which will be best in slot since most of your targets are going to be dying under the effects of slash and viral procs. So primary merciless is the way to go. Avoid primary deadhead, and dexterity is to be used when you're using the weapon in tandem with your melee. That said though, accuracy is good as you saw, fire rate 4.17, not bad, magazine of 14, but effectively 7 shots since you consume 2 per shot, noise alarming, boo-hoo, reload 1.5, as you saw they're decently quick, this is not bad at all. Riven disposition, sky high, 4 out of 5, not bad, which means we can leverage the power of Rivens. Is it worth getting? Well yes, because for a Sybaris Riven, it's pretty cheap, 20, 30, 50 plat unrolled, then maybe you can roll it and get lucky and... or not get lucky and cry in a corner like I do, but there you go. Beggars can't be choosy. Trigger burst damage. Let's see, critical chance 35%. That's great as a base. I can get to 100% guaranteed crits with a single mod, which is fantastic. Critical multiplier standard 2.0, not bad. Status chance super low at 10%. As for the damage, slash may be highest, but impact isn't far behind, and for that matter puncture isn't either. So you're going to be getting basically all the procs out of this one. Total 75 damage, which is not bad. Now, as a last talking point before the build, the weapon, or what is this? Oh yeah, the XL slot. Yes, the XL slot. You know what? Leave this one locked. You don't really need to unlock this one, and you can save yourself some resources, especially if you're newer coming into the game and if you don't have everything just yet, because you don't really need anything here. Lower recoil, sure, you can reduce the recoil if you so desire, but honestly, that's not really needed considering how the weapon functions. It does become steady as a rock. With this one, with stabilizer, you can also say, hey, vigilante supplies, yeah, the chance to enhance critical hits from right. You can get that from your little sentinel's weapon, and you don't really need the extra ammo anyway. You can use carrier, you can drop a pad, you can stand on your head and wait for ammo to drop from the sky. Eventually, it won't. So there is that to bear in mind. Point is, keep this one locked. If not, I don't know, guided ordnance or something silly like that. Now, let's check out a standard build, shall we? Damage Serration, multi-shot with split chamber, critical chance and critical damage for the use of critical delay, and of course vital sense. Look at that! 105% just with critical delay alone. Now it does put a damper on your fire rate. Minus 20% is nothing to scoff at, so it goes down from 4.17 to 3.6. But again, it's a semi-automatic weapon and your crits are guaranteed, which is vital to Hunter munitions. And of course you got the two 60-60 vital mods, Malignant Force from Corrupted Void in the Void and Rhyme Rounds from Spy Missions. This is your option slot. Plug into this one whatever you feel comfortable with. It won't really matter all that much. Vigilante Armaments is my suggestion. If not, if you want more orange numbers on your screen, because you know, hey, orange numbers on my screen, you can go with something like Argon Scope, you can go with Punch Through, you can go with Fire Rate like Prime Shred or Normal Shred. It's fine. This one is up to you. Cater the weapon to your individual preferences, since you know you're the one playing with the damn thing. So there is that. Now my friends, needless to say, this is a jumping off point build, a standard setup for more casual or newer players coming into the game. From this point onward, you can improve with galvanized mods, prime mods, ribbons, blah blah, yada yada yada. Now let's see what the weapon can do in this kind of a configuration. Let's make sure we're not cheating with anything, so I'm just gonna equip an empty build, no companion whatsoever. And by the way, this is the Dex skin on my man Excalibur. So as you can look pretty cool with the free stuff that D is offering. Pretty cool indeed. Oh, the wings were free too, and the Ciandanas from battle. So see, not bad. Now, of course, we're gonna be going for headshots as per the usual. You wanna put 2 to 3 shots in a corrupted heavy gun and watch it blow up like so. The slashes in combination with the vital procs are absolutely gonna destroy a level 120 corrupted heavy goon. Now a newer player shouldn't really see corrupted heavy goons level 120 unless you go to sortie, and then if you already unlock sortie, you're not that new to the game. Now if you see any red crit, that means Vigilante Armaments is doing its job. Orange is fine, red is a power up from orange, so do bear that one in mind. This is the kind of performance you can expect. How many shots does it take to kill a corrupted heavy gun? Well, normally, my friends, 2 to 3. Look at that. There's a vital proc in there. There's a bunch of slashes, 5 of them, and ticks away, and just... Are you screwing with me? Just leaves it on 1%, and there you go. Pretend like that killed it. Honestly, you can kill it from 2 shots depending on the procs that you get. It's RNG based. You're gonna have more trouble getting vital procs rather than anything else, rather than the actual slash procs. And that's pretty much it. That's the performance you can expect out of a weapon, which is free, already potatoed, already with a slot, and with just normal, average, everyday build. Honestly, there's nothing expensive on this build, and if you're newer to Warframe, you're gonna say, okay, Laser, fine, I can farm the mods, but dude, I'm never gonna get the endo for Serration. Hey, leave 2 from the top. Yeah, don't worry about it. Leave 2 from the top. Nobody will notice, nobody will care. You'll care later if you got OCD like I do, but that's not important. Now, let's say you're not newer to the game, and you already got the Galvanized mods, the Prime mods, you got ribbons coming out of your Schwazola and all of that good stuff. This would be the type of build you would go for. Now, what do we got here? Oh, Serration. I keep flat damage. Normally, you should, when it comes to high-level content, and by high-level content, I mean level 200 plus, right? If you're going level 200 plus, sure, go Prime Bane of the something. You know, forget about your self-esteem and self-respect, just go with a Bane mod or something like that. But the thing is, I'm not going to be shooting that high-level targets, and this is really not a weapon for endurance in Steel Path. Honestly, there are plenty of other weapons which are capable. This is just not one of them. Link the guys right now if you want to be king with the Tsar. Honestly, if you just want to clear everything, just get the Tsar. The Tsar is great. It's not the only one, but yeah, check out the Tsar. Fine, I'll use the Bane mod. I still hate those, and I beg the developer almost every time I get a chance to improve the usability of these mods. I'm not against them per se in using them. I'm against the usability they have, so please, dear dev. Galvanized Chamber, is that a normal one? Duh. And we also got this in the option slot. It's a static round that I don't even remember when I got this one. It's a double positive, no negative, a lot of crit, a lot of multi-shot. Look at my crit, mama, look at my crit, 168.2%. And I even got guided ordnance and for the hell of it. And of course, primary merciless. I can even unequip this one, but it's really no point. No point, my friends. Now, one more time, the same enemies as before. Not that the weapon can't handle higher level enemies, but just so you can see the difference in performance, yes? Oh, so much orange. Ah, yes, mama. Orange I like, but believe it or not, the biggest difference is made by that multi-shot. Oh, Jesus. That's good. That is pretty good, isn't it? Now, normally this is when I cut to a Steel Path gameplay section, but honestly this is simply not that kind of weapon for that. So I would recommend you just use this weapon for clearing the star chart if you're a newer Tenno coming into the game, and that's pretty much it, since the weapon is a little bit outclassed, not because it's a bad weapon, not because it couldn't be great, simply because the meta doesn't favor a single target, semi-automatic hit scan weapon. When the developer keeps encouraging AoE bombs and all whatnot, and one button wins through melee. So there you go. It's not a bad weapon by any stretch of the imagination. If you get it as a growing Tenno, then good for you. Use it, enjoy it, because it already has the catalyst installed. So that's a huge plus. You don't need to worry about that one anymore, so you can use more mods on it. But once you outgrow it in a few mastery ranks, that's pretty much it for the Dex Sybaris. It is my hope that some time, hopefully maybe this year, please dear developer, we get some advantages for weapons such as this, so they can once again compete in the meta. But as it stands right now, well, no, not really. It doesn't mean you can't make it more powerful than that, though. How about if we introduce into the mix some Warframe synergies, Warframe buffs? Everybody likes to talk about synergies because synergy sounds cool. Just get more damage up in there. It's simple, simple, very simple. Get Lady Mirage Prime. Oh, she's hot. She's definitely hot in terms of buffs. As you can see, Lady Mirage Prime has absolutely outstanding buffs. She's beautiful, absolutely fantastic. Now, what are we gonna... Oh yeah! Corrosive projection when it comes to heavily armored targets. It's not a must-have, but it's definitely something that helps if your build calls for whatever aura else. Simply go for the aura of your choosing. Do not feel forced into this one. As for arcanes, these are a lot more impactful. Arcane Rage is a very good idea. This one is a bonus additive after for 45% critical chance for 12 seconds. Keep in mind it applies to your primary, secondary, and to your melee at the exact same time, making it the most powerful offensive arcane in Warframe, if not one of the most powerful offensive arcanes in Warframe. Now, normally your second arcane should be reserved, theoretically, for your Warframe, right? Your Energize, your Armor, or whatever else you have at your disposal. Now, I'm gonna go with raw damage, 180% extra, just because I want a one-shot target. So, there you go. But if raw damage isn't your thing, you can always go with a little bit of fire rate. For example, Arcane Acceleration on critical hit, 30% chance for that massive 90% fire rate to primary weapons for 9 seconds, and the usual +1 Arcane Revive. I still see some questions. What's with the Arcane Revive? You know, when you die and you press X to pay to revive yourself? Yeah, that's basically it. One more revive. So you go from 3 to 5 to whatever else. Okay, that's Arcane Revive. We're gonna go with raw damage because against these targets I don't really need any additional fire rate. As for Sentinel buffs, you have, well, for companion buffs you have two options. You can either go to Sentinel, any Sentinel you want. Just make sure that on that Sentinel's weapon you got the 4 Vigilante bonds for the 20% chance to enhance critical hits from primary weapons. It's not a super high buff, but it's something worth having. Even if the little bugger dies and never comes back to life, you will still retain that buff. Second option is the Panzer Vulpi. Now, the Panzer Vulpi will be getting yourself vital procs. The problem with it is, even though it's immortal and it never really dies, the consistency of its vital procs normally aren't as good as your weapon, even though the Dex Sybaris is not the best weapon to apply vital procs. In this case, we're gonna take the little Sentinel, because I like the way he looks. There you go, there's ration and logic for you. We're gonna max out the targets to 165, we're gonna unpause them so they can hit me and I can finally get me buffs. And of course, Lady Mirage is gonna be able to one-shot these targets. Activate Empower, that's a helmet ability, then her free ability for an absolutely massive Eclipse buff and the best animation in Warframe. Beautiful, fantastic design. Now, go for headshots for as much as you can. As you saw there, the target died from the impact damage. I don't think the slash even got a chance to proc. The chance will get a chance to proc if you don't get a headshot, which is why I'm taking my time. See, go for body shot there, so you can see the slashes. 32,000, easy. This is the power of raw damage. Damage on top of damage on top of damage, mama, fantastic. But you see, math has diminishing returns, not Warframe. God damn it, okay? Not the actual game. There's no diminishing returns built-in mechanic for damage, but math has diminishing returns. The more you add of the same multiplier, the less you're gonna get out of it, and raw damage is fantastic as long as you're not gonna be hitting targets in the thousands. You hit targets in the thousands, then you gotta think of all the multipliers you can get, basically. Cram all of them one on top of each other. But for everything that Warframe normally can throw at you, this is more than enough. What are the sins of the weapon? Well, apart from usability, if you're okay with that, the fact that it's single target. Even with punch through, which is somewhat a form of AoE in Warframe, it still simply cannot compete with AoE weapons. But you know what? The Dex Sybaris is not supposed to be the best endgame weapon. No, it's supposed to be a weapon that helps out newer Tenno coming into the game, and from my point of view, it definitely does that. And if you're up until MR10 and you still haven't gotten to grips with Warframe fully, by all intents and purposes, pick up the Dex Sybaris. It's free, it's potatoed, it comes with a slot. What more do you want? And I do believe, my friends, that is pretty much it. As always, my name is Lazar. Thank you guys so much for watching. Like, favorite, share, and subscribe if you enjoyed the content. And if you got any feedback for me, I would love to read that in the comment section down below. But until next time, my friends, bye-bye. Oh, and you can also catch me on Twitch, Facebook, Twitter, all the usual places. Bye!